Look, they ain't even got sixes and sevens here. These people be
3.5,
6, 7, 6, 7.
You are not lying at all.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Mario Harper, director at the Health Action Alliance and lead of the U.S. Business Action to End HIV, the country's largest employer network operating to end HIV in our country. And what's brewing today, y'all?
Introducing Mario Harper.
World AIDS Day 2025.
And Wicked for Good. So get your cups ready for Minority Report.
Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It is Auntie Kerel.
And it's Auntie Dawon.
Hey, everybody. I'm Mario Harper.
Hey, and they're used to it. And it's Jarrell. Nope, that ain't Jarrell. Jarrell did not shave his head. Jarrell's off this week, but he'll be back next week. But as you heard, we have an amazing guest, and I'm looking forward to this episode. Like, I feel like I say that every time, though. Like, I guess I just enjoy doing this.
Yes.
I'm like, ooh. But
they say you never do a day of work as long as you love what you do.
I guess so. That's true.
Yeah.
It's just like I get to talk to my friends and meet amazing people or get reacquainted with amazing people. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. Hanging with black people. Come on now.
You got the good niece coming through with the aunties today.
Yes. That. Yes. But yeah, I guess before we dive in too deep, how's everyone doing today? All is well. You know, Thanksgiving's over now. You hopefully didn't gain too many unnecessary pounds that you didn't want. But hey, if you did, that means you had a good one.
I want it every single pound I got,
baby.
Amen. Every single one.
Amen.
That's how you stay in love.
Sometimes you get too in love. I had to lose them in love pounds. I was like, okay, I still love you, boo, but I had to drop these lbs. got too comfortable.
Yeah. It's wild because like we've all been on our fitness journey, for this last year, and like for me, I've given myself carte blanche for the holiday season. This is a time where I don't mind, peeling back on all the, the fatty foods and the butters and the sugars and all those things. But when Thanksgiving hits, it's a wrap. I want it all. I want the collard greens. I want the candy yams. I want the apple pies. I want the pecan pies. I want it all of it.
I feel like I've been wanting it all for the last 5 years that I've been in a relationship.
I'm telling you, it does it. It
Something
does it.
Different.
You wake up and you're like, ooh. It's like this. I know I call it this Corey and this Corey Edward over here. It's like, yeesh. It's like goodness, but yeah, I forget if I probably said it on the podcast, but yeah, I have an online coach, and I told him, I was like, I know we have a plan. However, this day, you don't get to dictate. I don't give a damn what you said, but the goal is for this next couple of weeks. That day it ain't.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I feel like Thanksgiving, especially in the Black family, is like the Olympics of the Black culture experience, because I don't care where you're doing it, whether you're cooking or not. Thanksgiving is where it all goes down. It's where the cousins go out to get their little puff, smoke. It's where the aunties, roll up them sleeves and they let the fat on the back do all the stirring. It is where the conversations get real deep and people be, telling their truths. It's where the liquor be coming out. It's where the games start playing and people's feelings start getting hurt. It is the Olympics of Black culture. And I'm telling you, it is the most beautiful thing. And I feel bad for people who have a lesser version.
Not the lesser version. I'm done.
And because we've seen those lesser versions.
depending on the dynamic of your family, your auntie might be out there with the cousins.
that part.
Amen.
Look, well, I mean, for a lot of it, I don't want to speak for all of us. I can speak for myself, but aunties meant a certain thing back in my day, and now it's like you auntie and you 25. Like, how you an auntie at 25? Like,
honey, we
you
had
don't
some
get
of
that
that back in the day too, though. Low key. I'm about to say that ain't a new phenomenon.
Well, I was going to say I'm the baby of 14 kids, which I think Dawon.
Yeah.
But that dynamic created a really weird situation where I had 7 nieces and nephews that were older than me.
Yeah.
So before I was even born, I was an auntie or an uncle.
Yeah, seriously. That part.
Not even an honorary. Like, that's a legit.
Like legit.
Go change your uncle's diapers.
I know that is right. Well, community, hopefully you had a good one. And then obviously, we're getting up to all the different holidays, whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. And then even if you want to be by your damn self through this next few weeks, do it. Choose you. Choose you this holiday season, because there's just a lot going on out there. But then also today is World AIDS Day. So I'm excited to have this conversation in this episode. Because I mean, like, there's always like just new dynamics that come in and things like that. So we got the expert at hand here, Mario, to help us guide us through this conversation. But before even like talking about World AIDS Day, like, where are you from? Like, where did you grow up? You said you have 14 brothers and sisters. Where did that all go down at?
Man, in the boonies. So I'm originally from Shreveport, Louisiana. It's a small town, probably the 3rd largest city in Louisiana, though. And went to school in Baton Rouge for college, and I've sort of moved around since. Career took me to Dallas. I've had 2 stints in Dallas, spent about 8 years in Chicago, and now I'm in Pittsburgh, Louisiana. But the majority of my family are Southern folks and still have those Southern roots, and so all that good cooking you were just talking about, they know there's something about that, putting the foot in it,
I know that.
And I think you meant Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, not Louisiana.
Oh, did I say Pittsburgh, Louisiana?
Yeah, man. She said, I got to go back. She said, I got to go back. This Pittsburgh is the pits.
Right.
True story. I'm currently in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
that's funny. And I'm curious, how did growing up in Louisiana maybe almost guide your activism and things like that today, like your life coaching and all the above that you do? Like, how did growing up there get you to this point?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. So I've always been a coach at heart and in spirit. I had 9 older brothers, and it always seemed, even though I was the youngest, I always had the most responsibility. My brothers grew up in a different era and a different way, and I just always had a commitment to my parents to make sure that I would try to give them something back for all of the great parenting and love and support that they gave to us. And that's not a knock against my brothers. I realized things are circumstantial. I was the only one that got to go to private Catholic school, and it was just different times and different situations. But I started coaching actually basketball before I ever even graduated high school. I had an injury that prevented me from continuing on in my career, and I loved it so much. I love to give back. I'd heard Maya Angelou have a saying, when you learn, you should teach, right? And so I've always had a motto of each one teach one. And I use that to not only think about how I could do for myself, but how I could bring other kids along. And so through that basketball program, I was able to take my experience, my brothers who didn't get the same opportunities I got to go to private Catholic school, and think about the inner city kids in the Shreveport community who should have those same opportunities. And so I used that basketball program to get them into better schools. Ultimately was able to 60 kids in that community, getting them into the most affluent high school in that community. And most of them went on to get college degrees and are doing well as adults. and well into adulthood now. So that's something that I'm really proud of. Um, I tell you, Shreveport is a different beast. For small of a place it is, it being World AIDS Day, it's important to note that Shreveport ranks in the top 20 for HIV transmissions in the country on a basis. And so it's an epidemic, even in that small community. And as a gay Black man who grew up in a family that was very religious, that created a lot of stigma around homosexuality and HIV. I can recall I called him my uncle, but he was really my cousin. He was my mom's cousin, but he was so much older than me that I looked at him as an uncle. But his name we called him Junior. And Junior wasn't Sissy. I mean,
hey,
the epitome of the word sissy, and his personality was so infectious, and he never wavered in who he was. But he didn't die with dignity. So Junior ended up. I learned in my adulthood that what claimed Junior's life was HIV/AIDS. But no one would ever acknowledge that in my family, right? And that made me feel like he didn't get to die with his dignity. And I carried that with me throughout my entire adolescence and into my adulthood. It was always something that just had a piece of purchase within me as I moved forward. And I knew at some point, I wanted to act on that, to do something to honor his legacy, because I felt like nothing was ever done to do that. And that's why I've sort of jumped into this work now. In addition to the fact that I allowed that stigma of my family dynamic and the community that I was reared in to cause me to, take some unreasonable chances with my own health and well-being. And it was nothing but grace that prevented me from receiving a positive, HIV diagnosis. And thankfully, there was a community of people there in Shreveport that wrapped their arms around me and showed me the way, showed me that, this isn't something to be afraid of. It's something to embrace. Embracing the whole of your person is really important, and your sexuality and how you go about taking care of yourself in that way as well. And so that's been really impactful along my journey of wanting to help other people do it also. So.
Wow. There's a lot to dissect there too. It's just like, oh no, where we go next? It's like, I love that. I love the play on the sissy word, quite frankly, because especially in the Black community, a lot of times that word is thrown around to demean or to lessen, or and it's like, okay, yeah, sissy bitch, and what? Now what? And honestly, that's why we call ourselves the Aunteas. It's the same kind of like play on just words. It's just like, okay, that's what you want to throw against us to say it's less than. No, it ain't. Play on the fluidity of expression and things like that. So I love that. I love that story.
1000%. And to me, it feels like an homage to my uncle Junior that I was just telling you about, right? Like, because he word, like nobody, like you couldn't cut him down with a word, and I took great appreciation in that, and I still embody that today with all of the slurs that they throw around in the gay community. I think we've done a good job of saying, okay, you want to call us that? Let me show you how I can be the best one.
Amen.
And it took me a really long time to really appreciate the fact that there were people who didn't have the privilege of, one could call it a privilege if you want to look at it that way, of being straight passing. They had no choice. These are the people that were known for having a little sugar in their tank. People that could not hide from their sexual identity because of their affectation, the outward expression of their femininity. And for a lot of us, these were the only images, the only ideas of what being gay is to be like. And
Yes.
it's challenging. One, it's beautiful in a way because it shows that you don't have to fit within a certain kind of mold in order to exist and live and live your truth. And in the other ways, it can be polarizing because if that is not your natural expression, it can be confusing thinking that, oh, I need to ascribe to that. I need to be more like that. And so, it's beautiful when we think about, the people that were in our lives and the influences that we've had that have been part of particularly the Black gay community, and
Yes.
what those have done to shape our worldview of what homosexuality is and what it means to be a Black gay man in today's world.
I couldn't agree more. And I also think when you can, in a lot of ways, be straight passing, you work out and you do all these things, and you're still willing to reach back to that generation and bring forth some of those tropes that were used to, dehumanize them, and you embody them and say, I'm here in my whole fullness, knowing that, I'm tripping you up a little bit because, you're getting to see all parts of it and it doesn't look like what you thought it would. And I'm owning it, and you can't do anything to make me feel like my self-worth is in question. I can call myself this, and I can still be better than you.
That part.
And will. So World AIDS Day is like an international day. This is just not like a U.S. day. This is an international day that kind of just raises awareness of HIV and AIDS, commemorate those that have maybe passed, like you had mentioned before, or just support those that are currently living with HIV.
Yes.
We've seen, obviously, like in the past, maybe call a year or two, just like funding that kind of go lower from businesses and things like that. What are ways that we could maybe try to get some of this funding back and work maybe with the other sides that might not completely agree with everything, but how do we just get the funds that we really need and the awareness back up to the levels that we've maybe seen in the past?
Yeah, I think visibility is so important, especially in today's time. And so you guys are already doing you're taking a really important action, even by addressing this topic today. So kudos to you. That's one of the things that we encourage the businesses that we do. We work with nearly 100 businesses who have taken committed actions to raise visibility, to educate their workforce, to strengthen their HIV services and benefits, to advocate for policy, which obviously touches a lot of that funding. And I'll continue on to that point here in a second. They build effective community partnerships with organizations who are boots on the ground doing this work with the community and has the trust of the community. And they provide financial support themselves to support a lot of the different objectives that are going on in the community. But I would say, just raising visibility, if you can't do anything else, that's an easy one, right? For everyone.
What does that look like? Is that just like social media, just putting things up, or is that like being out there? Like, what are some ways that be like, oh, I'm listening here in Shreveport, Louisiana. How can I be visible?
Yeah, all parts, right? Like social media can be a huge part of it. That's what the companies, companies have brands, right? And their brands are really influential, not for their customers, for their clients, but also for the people who shop with them and do business with them on a regular basis. They're visible, but individuals also have brands. And so, if your family is one of those who is, one of those perpetuating the stigma of HIV, and you understand, that HIV needs to be destigmatized, needs to be demystified, then using your platform to talk about this day and what the meaning of the lives were for, the millions and millions of people who, just think about it. We have lost an incredible generation of people who were so talented from this disease, right? And so, just thinking about that and reflecting on that, using your platform, whether it be social media, whether it be, you getting out in the community, whether it be you taking it to your church, one of the biggest opportunities that we have is because Black people specifically are so faith driven, right? People think HIV is only impacting homosexual people and specifically homosexual Black males. That's not the truth. The Latinx community right now is actually the leading demographic in the U.S. for new HIV transmissions. Black women are 10 times more likely to contract HIV in their lifetime than their white counterparts. And so, this is an issue. It doesn't discriminate, right? I like to tell people we're all HIV possible, right?
Mhm.
If you're in a loving relationship with someone and you have trust there, and that person has a slip up, and anything can happen, right? And so that raising visibility, that extends, community wide, whether it's social media, whether that's in the community that you serve, whether that's on your job, whether that's in your church, whatever that looks like to you, that anything that you can embrace, just do whatever part you can do.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. I keep thinking
And
about. Oh, go ahead, babe.
yeah, sorry. I just wanted to finish a thought on the funding piece too. And
Yes.
so, what the work that we do is so critically important, and I feel so blessed to have been able to assume this role where we are galvanizing the business community to use their force, particular in this current state that we're in. There's a lot of things that are being privatized right now, right? Like healthcare and so forth and so on. And businesses are really a driving force. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, right? And so businesses always have a seat at the table in this country, and we've been able to round up business leaders from some of the top companies in this country to go to Capitol Hill to advocate for sustained HIV funding. One of the proudest moments of my career when we took our first trip to the Hill this year, and not even a week after we returned, the funding was released to the community organizations that are doing the work around the country, so that they could continue to provide services through this year and into the summer of next year. That was the largest
Nice.
accomplishment I would say I've had in my career, right?
Congratulations.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
amazing.
Thank you, and it continues, and so we haven't stopped. We were just there again last week, talking to non-Congress people. Last week, we submitted letters and had meetings with the Office of Management Budget and so forth and so on. But really, it's about everybody using their voice, calling their senators and their city councils and all of these people who understand the impact that an HIV setback not only has on the health and well-being of communities and workers, and et cetera, but there's an economic impact to that as well, right?
Yeah.
If you don't want to pay for preventative services, you could very well likely end up paying for a lifetime of treatment services, right? And so the cost to prevent HIV for individuals is much less than the cost to treat it, and so that's something that we sort of use to educate on all levels of government around the impacts and the importance of HIV inclusion in their work. So.
Yeah, I wanted to piggyback on the whole the funding part of the conversation because we keep hearing about the funding crisis for HIV programs this year, and I was wondering if you could just kind of like, to the degree that you're able to, break down for our listeners what specific services are at the risk of or have already vanished in our neighborhoods right now because of some of these budget cuts.
Yeah, so as it relates to HIV, there are community-based organizations, we call them CBOs, all around the country that have had really effective partnerships with the CDC for a number of years, and we've made tremendous progress as it relates to new HIV transmissions in this country. Obviously, currently there are about 39,000 Americans who contract HIV annually in the country. That number has actually gone up just in the last year since they re-released the data. We were sitting at 32,000, and so that tells you that we're already seeing some issues with that, right? But these organizations depend on CDC grants in order for them to build out their programs and their services. It's important for them to do the work because they have the connection to the community, right? And they're able to build relationships, trusting relationships with the community to have these people be able to get tested if they are HIV positive, to be able to detect that early enough to get them linked to care and receive the necessary services. what happened when the new administration took over this year was all of that funding, those notices of awards and the funding was not, it stopped all of a sudden. Yeah. Right. And so these organizations not only weren't able to continue providing the services, but there was also a fallout for them having to like cut their staff as well. And so you're talking, it's a double-edged sword, because now people are losing jobs as well as people are falling out of care because they aren't able to get their services. And so
the knowledge of folks that are cut too, like that's the thing that people don't even talk enough about. It's just like there's a knowledge base of that just disappears, quite frankly. Like when people get let go, like people are there for decades and decades and have seen the ebbs and flows and know how to handle and suggest certain things. Like that's so huge.
You're hitting the nail on the head. So what happens is when those people end up getting cut or losing their jobs, they realize, well, wait a second, I've been doing this work because I'm passionate about it and I'm really good at it. But what else is out there for me to do? And so now it's, you can't even backfill people who have the knowledge or the passion to do those roles again, right? And so, yes, you really hit the nail on the head, and that's been a real reality across a lot of places in the country. You think about large metropolitan areas. You guys are in New York, Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta, which Atlanta right now is on track with some of the hardest areas in the world as far as HIV rates of transmission, right? And so, that's a really big blow. And what we are trying to do is, right now everything has to be really thought of through an economic lens. Like, what's the impact? What's the economic impact? I think that's how you get people to move in today's day and age in general, but certainly in this country in this moment. And so, we put together some really compelling business cases around what it looks like to not continue to do this work and what that fallout would be, for each one of our communities, our states, and the national outlook on our economic output. So,
yeah, I would love to keep it like 100. We've got the science, we've got the pills, we've got the shots out there, but as you mentioned, the data shows that Black and brown folks specifically still just aren't getting them. Do you feel like, and again, this may be more, personal insights rather than, baked in other things, but do you feel that this is a failure of messaging or access, or is it just the medical system just keeps gatekeeping these tools from our communities?
Yeah, so that's why the community-based organizations were put in play, right? So that, we could get rid of some of that gatekeeping. So much that as it is, you have to think about things like there's so many social drivers or social determinants of health. I think we got away from that language at some point, but I'm going to bring it back because I think that's what people recognize. But you got to think about people's geography, like where they live and, whether or not there's access to the same services in those areas, whether it's rural or what have you as other ones. You got to think about their transportation. Can they get to a clinic? You have to think about stigma. Will they go to a clinic, right? So if you're looking at a profile of an individual, who may not want to be outed or doesn't want, there's so many differing degrees of, whether or not a person is comfortable. So the one you might remember, before I came to this role, I was actually working in the testing world. And so I was really proud of that work as well, because we were able to have people test in a way that was most convenient for them, shipping these tests to their homes so that they can test discreetly or wherever they wanted to get them. As long as they were able to get the test, take the test, we could get them prevention tools, right? And so a lot of the community-based organizations are deploying this strategy as well, but I still come back to the church. And I genuinely believe that so much of the stigma that exists around HIV is rooted deeply in the church, and it prevents people, and it really makes me mad because it really prevents Black women from really taking up, services, or at least getting tested at the rate that they should, and you know, understanding more about how to keep themselves healthy, you know. And
I love that new T-Boz like campaign that's out there now, because I think that's what people are like, why T-Boz? I'm like, well, because it's Black women, like they're tapping into a market and into a demographic that needs to hear it, quite frankly, and to take the shame, you know, veil away from it all, or at least as best as possible. So that's interesting that you said that.
Well, not just T-Boz, Tamar. I was just at an event at the Abbey a couple months ago, or maybe a month and a half ago, and Cardi B was there, and Nene Leakes, and Cynthia Bailey, and you know, all of these Black women are finally starting to say, well, wait a minute, like I have a duty to my community to make sure that they know about this, and it makes me feel great, you know, that they are stepping up to the plate, because we got to do something to circumvent all of the, you know, sort of limiting behaviors and language that our community is engaged in that keeps us, you know, sort of being the poster child for this episode. You know,
we have like a lot of folks that listen to the podcast that happen to be maybe in HR or CEOs of companies and things like that. If they're like, with funding being cut like at a lot of levels, and if we have seats at these tables and maybe positional power and things like that, like what maybe like HIV inclusive programs and plans should they maybe start bringing to their corporations, or at least bringing up into conversations that would be almost like the best in class?
Yeah, well, shameless plug. First thing they should do is they should join my coalition.
Hey, I know that's right. I know. What's that coalition? Say that coalition.
U.S. Business Action to End HIV. Come see me.
I know that's right.
But truly, we make it easy for companies, no matter where they are in their journey, as far as engaging on HIV. And so, you know, obviously, some companies have started things like they may have an HIV workplace policy. If not, that's a great place to start. It's a great tool for making sure that your employees understand, you know, what benefits you provide. It also helps with destigmatizing HIV in the workplace. And let me just say this before I go forward: like HIV has always been a blueprint, right? You think of companies like Chevron, who were on the forefront of the movement in the 80s. Got ahead of it. Like they have been able to institute really effective workplace policies for a number of different issues, you know, pandemic preparedness, COVID, like all of those things. They've really been a leader in that space because they were first engaged on HIV. And HIV itself has been a blueprint for other issues that have impacted our country. But I would say, you know, our coalition has a bevy of resources on activating ERG groups. Obviously, if we're talking about communities that are disproportionately impacted, having, you know, affinity groups within your workforce who can really speak to the importance of understanding HIV, what HIV is, how to get tested, all of those things is going to be more readily accepted probably from community members, right? Just makes that an easier conversation. I think benefits are such an important part of it. You know, ACA requires or mandates that employers cover prevention tools at zero cost sharing to their employees. So, you know, this is about staying in compliance, you know, and so that's getting a leg up from that standpoint. One of the things that we've been really great at, though, is helping businesses and business leaders see the importance of engaging on this issue, because not only is it the right thing to do, but it can also be a good business move, right? We've been able to have leaders come here and really collaborate and network and put together some really great things that have helped their workers as it relates to HIV, but it's also improved their business in a number of ways, from brand, not just brand and reputation, but also thinking outside the box about how they tackle new challenges. And
that acquires talent too. Like,
yes,
like if you're checking into the company you're trying to hire into, be like, okay, let me see your track record. Let me see.
That's right. That's right. And I would just say, just take the first step if you're a company, right? Like that's an easy thing. You know, do a lunch and learn with a community organization, and
Yeah.
and have them come in and talk to your staff about, what their services are and what they do. Sometimes it's easier to accept services from the community, but we actually launched a survey, and your employer audience should know this. We didn't launch this survey. I apologize. We utilize a survey. It's called the Edelman Trust Barometer. It's an international survey. It goes out each year. It asks employees who they trust most to provide them trustworthy healthcare information. And at an 80% clip, employees trust their own employer more than they trust any other source. That's government, that's media, that's non-governmental organizations. They trust their own employer. And so there's a duty and a responsibility that an employer has to leverage that trust, and make sure that they're providing comprehensive service and information for their employees, especially on issues like this.
Yeah, switching gears just slightly more towards kind of like messaging and reach. We've got a lot of Gen Zers and younger generations that have entered the workforce and are a vast majority of the people that are part of the workforce now. And these folks did not see the crisis of, the 90s, the HIV and AIDS crisis and all that comes through it. And I'm just wondering, do you think that we've become a bit too comfortable, in the sense of how do we get younger people to care about prevention without using the scare tactics that I think we all agree just don't work anymore?
This is such an interesting question, and I'm going to tell you why. You want to know why it's not scary? Because I just saw a post just yesterday about Magic Johnson, and someone said it's something to the tune of, Magic Johnson has had AIDS for 30 years. And they said, what kind of AIDS does he have? Financial aid? Like
I'm done.
Black Twitter will get you.
Every time.
Black Twitter
Every
will
time.
get you every single time.
Every time.
It also shows that science is amazing. Believe in science, bitches.
Yes.
Right. It speaks to the fact that I don't Gen Z feels the need to be afraid the way that our generation felt the need to be afraid, because they see people living long, healthy lives with HIV, which is a great thing that people are living long, healthy lives with HIV. I don't think they have enough exposure to, they just see that side of it, right? Like they don't know what it takes in order to get that person to that place, right?
Yeah.
And they also don't see the individuals who may not make it that way. Let's say maybe they don't respond to medications the same way, and so forth and so on, right? And so, there's a big opportunity. I think employers, have a role in that and being able to consistently provide education. But I think, again, what you guys are doing here, keeping it in front of them, letting them know what's available to them, but also letting them know that they're not invincible. Right. And I also think, from a motivational standpoint, because I love to motivate, I'm a coach, right? Like we can be the generation that ends this epidemic. Like we literally have every tool available from the prevention to the treatment to effectively end this epidemic. Why wouldn't we want to be the generation that does that? Like that would be just an amazing feat to accomplish. It would be such a great gift to give to all of the people who have been doing the work in this field and on the ground in these communities for decades now, right?
And honor those that didn't get the opportunity to make it to this point. Like there's so many, there's like you said earlier, there's just like almost a generation of folks, especially a lost generation of Black and brown folks that we don't have those elders really, I mean, it's not to say we don't, like we do, but not to the extent that it could have been. And so where we're at this point is like their wildest dreams. So it's like, why wouldn't we want to continue to like keep that up and honor those that couldn't live to be here to see this dream,
1000%.
So that's what almost kind of frustrates me, because like you said, we have the tools, and like for most folks, like you said, like say PrEP, and maybe we talk about PrEP and just like the tools that are out there, but it's just like it's free.
Yep.
And obviously, you know, like you got to check your blood markers and your kidneys and all that stuff, like along the path. And maybe some folks can't take it, but it's just like for the bulk of us, it's free and it's safe for you to take. So, what are some tools that for those that don't know that are available now, and how has it maybe evolved to even like the shots and things that are available?
Yeah, that's a great question. So obviously, a lot of pretty much all of the pharma companies that are involved in the work are a part of our work, and really grateful for them for just the leadership that they show, right? But as of this year, we now have a twice yearly injectable for HIV prevention called Yes2Go, like Yes2Go. But it is just a game changer, right? And especially for people that have busy lives, or consistent, PrEP quarterly check-in visits and all of those things. We got something for everyone, right? We also have a 2-month injectable, every 2 month or every 60-day injectable. We obviously still have Descovy and Truvada and all of those things. The great breakthrough about Yes2Go is women can take this as well, right? As you know, with some of the oral therapies, women can't take those because of different things that they studied during the trials that showed them to be unfavorable for them to be able to do so. But with the injection, the women can take it, right? And so I just think, and they're continuing to innovate and develop new technologies. There's a rumor that there's going to be a subcutaneous implant that you can get in the not so distant future, which I think will last at least a year or maybe even 2 years. And so, I mean, the innovation is meeting the moment. I think it's the opportunity lies within people, again, continuing to give this issue visibility, continuing to humanize this issue. So as I speak about humanizing this issue, one of the other things that I'm really proud of is that we've engaged Hollywood on this. And so one of our members of our coalition is Paramount Pictures. And back in October, we launched the first of its kind media and entertainment cohort, where we're calling on filmmakers to come together and think about how they can tell more up-to-date, positive portrayals about HIV. Yeah, if you notice, you're not seeing it in TV and media anymore, right? Like at the rate that we used to. There may be a storyline here or a storyline there, every few years that doesn't really do it justice, right? But we're really taking the opportunity to think about, how can we recenter this issue and tell the story right, in a way that people, because movies just resonate with people in a different way than even us doing this right now is great, right? But you put something in a film and people they feel it in their soul, And
I feel like they do the HIV like they do the black people in slavery, but like, oh yes, massa, like, it's like, girl, bye. It's like, bitch, the fuck out of here.
But you give us a good Ben Rames and and Holiday Heart, and
right.
but it makes a story much more relatable and it increases the visibility. And I think it's really important that that you all are doing this work to increase the visibility of of HIV and AIDS awareness within a lot of different markets.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, the producers for Married to Medicine attended the little summit that we had, and they're looking at ways to place it into the storylines for the ladies at Married to Medicine and some of the other Bravo franchises. And so there's an opportunity there, right? Like, especially when we're talking about Black women sort of being disproportionately impacted with this epidemic. I think that's a great opportunity. So
I agree. Woo! I know. So many questions. I'm like always looking at the time. I'm like, damn, how many so long? How did you I guess you gave us the history of how you always coached and things like that. What is there like someone in like your journey along the way that just like stands out to be like, okay, they were the ones that coached me to get to the level I'm at now? Like, is there one that, or maybe one or two that just stands out in your brain and just like, I'm thankful for them because I am as good as I am because of them?
How much time you got, man? There's been so
Right. Hey, all the time you need.
no, there's been so many people. You know, I hate to give you I want to give you an answer, somebody that's, you know, just really out of the box, but it'd be impossible to talk about my mom first. You know, she was the consummate coach. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's funny. I played sports growing up, and I was pretty good at sports. Yeah, I was the shortest of all the boys. I had the most heart. So, like, guess Sissy's got heart after all.
Oh, that's right. And we ain't talking about the 10 man.
But man, I had some of the toughest coaches playing sports. I had nuns actually, like for the first, you know, through 8th grade, and you trust me, you don't want a nun coaching you in nothing because they are cutthroat. But even leaving there, like I had really tough coaches in high school and so forth. And you know what? I would prefer the tongue lashing and all of that stuff that I got from the coach, because by the time my mom coached me 10 times harder than the coach would ever coach me.
Right? That's too funny.
But there was always a delicate balance, right? Like she would do that, and then she would always have like a softer approach and as well. But she loved to teach. Whether it was teaching you how to cook something, whether it was teaching you how to, you know, do anything, you know, the chores around the house, whatever it was, like she was really communicative. But the one thing that I noticed was that she listened just as well as she taught. And so that's been like a journey of mine throughout. It's like, and I think, you know, just taking it back to this HIV conversation, I think that's why it's important. The one you were asking, how do we engage Gen Z? I think first and foremost, we got to listen to them, right? And so it's going to be really hard to understand how to motivate someone if you don't first hear what it is that they are concerned about, what they care about, and what's going to get them to move from one point to the other. And so that's been one, you know, thing that I've always leaned on from my mom, from the other coaches that I've had in my life is how do you listen more than you teach? Because I think that's what makes you a good coach. I think that's what makes you a good teacher. That's something that I've always tried to pour into any kids that I've coached on a sports level, but also, you know, adults and leaders and all of those things as well, is just being an effective teacher. And I think that's an exponential growth component for you and me when we do that. So
I love it. That's great.
Nice. Well, community, we're going to have Mario back on here because I think obviously today's world is AIDS Day, so it's like very visible today, but I think it's just a conversation and things are just to keep top of mind year round, quite frankly. It's just like, yes, it is December 1st, but what are you thinking and talking about on April 14th? What are you thinking and talking about on July 17th? These are conversations that we need to continue to have, especially in our communities, because he said, especially like I used to live in Atlanta. So it's just like seeing such a gay mecca that is Atlanta, hearing that the rates are like the most impacted there, like that's wild. It shouldn't be that. B, for how successful that city is, there should be funding. There should be, you know, a lot of avenues for it to not be that way. Yes. So I think it's just like the key is like, we need to have these tough conversations with our family and friends. Quite frankly, it's just like you got your homeboy. Have they been to the doctor? Have they been checked? If they're on PrEP, are they staying consistent? Because that's another thing. Is like you need to stay consistent on these things. Yeah, so if that's not the avenue, if you can't pop the pill every day at the right time, then we need to find another avenue for you, because we need to keep each other safe and sound as best as we can out here. And then if you do contract it, finding avenues to have the best doctors and things like that to keep you safe and sound and healthy for as long as we can. So don't be scared of these conversations, like, because I'm like, we all like to, you know, have a little fun here and there. So let's make sure we have the tools to continue to have these said fun moments.
Amen.
I love that. If I can leave the audience with one thing, you know, the CDC recommends that all adults, ages maybe not even just adults, but ages 13 to 64, you should be getting tested at least once annually and more frequently, depending on, your lifestyle and activity. But take this opportunity for World AIDS Day to go get tested. It's not as scary as you think. It's like I gave that Magic Johnson example earlier. Look at how wonderful he's living. There's nothing, like not everybody's going to be Magic Johnson, but HIV is not a death sentence, right? And so I just think everybody should get tested. There's only one way to do anything about your health is to know your status, to protect yourself, protect others.
And then you equals you as well.
Absolutely.
And one last thing too, like for those that are maybe screaming at the episodes, like, okay, I'm not employed, or my insurance isn't covering it, or whatever, or I can't take the pill that is covered, and I got to pay thousands of dollars for this other option. What avenues do they have potentially to maybe lower that cost? Like, where should they seek out or research to kind of help them for these coins? Because we know we all strapped for a little coinage right now.
There are so many free options out there right now, mostly through the telehealth world or through telehealth platforms. But even if you go to a clinic, if you don't have the ability to pay, they will figure out a way to get you what you need without having to pay. So I would, the least you can do is go to freehivtest.org. But beyond that, I don't want to be an advertisement for too many organizations.
Hey, I mean, we'll do it for it because, hey, community, remember we had Q Care Plus on here a couple years ago, and I know you've been to them circuit parties, see all the Mistr guys out there in their little speedos. So
thank you.
There's avenues.
Better for you to do that than me, so I appreciate you taking that one.
Absolutely. But
yes, you didn't tell any lies.
Curiosity. Go ahead. Yeah, and before we get to Curiosity, like, where can they find you? Where can they find your organization? Just in case there's further maybe conversations and questions that they have that they're like, y'all ain't asked this question. I got this question. Yes,
I would love that. You can reach me at endhiv@healthaction.org. I would love to hear from you guys. If you work for a company that you feel like should be a part of this work, please let us know. We would love to work with your company, but also individually, if you have any questions or want to chat it up, I'm more than happy to do that as well. But I'm at NHIV@healthaction.org, and feel free to reach out to me.
Love it. Awesome. But before we get to Curiosity, we know it's been wicked all week, wicked everywhere, wicked for good, wicked for bad, wicked. I know you two have seen the movie. What did you do? What did you think? And did it wrap it up the way you wanted to wrap it up? Especially if you've seen like the play, you know how it was going to end. Mm-hmm. Did they do it justice to the play and to the book?
The one you want to go first?
Oh no, Dawon. I can't already. Shut up already.
It did all right. I will say that for me, the first movie was exuberant. It was exhilarating. It was everything that I really wanted it to be. And when I left the theater, I had such a strong sense of just passion for these characters and feeling seen. I felt like the second movie struck, and rightfully so, I guess, struck more of a more somber kind of a note, which, left me with a little bit of a different feeling. And I'm just going to say it. I know she got the house dropped on her, but Nessa Rose ain't shit. She ain't
Nessa Rose
shit.
Ain't
she ain't
no
shit.
Way.
She ain't shit.
Don't fall for. That's what she was digmatized.
I was just
for that muscular dick.
I'm just like, you held on for all these goddamn years to Bach.
Listen,
you cute in the face. You could have hooked up with somebody else. You could have found love elsewhere.
And you the governor.
Like, you pull it. Come on now. So yeah, she can go to hell.
Yeah, she did.
She sure did.
She gone. She ain't coming back.
And low key, my other hot take is I believe that there is a continuation of this story that I would love to see, that it starts and ends with Bach, because I feel like he got bamboozled in this whole situation, and I would love to see where that, because brother was pissed. He was getting people all riled up around him. I mean, he got the mob going, and I'm just like, what happened to all that energy after everybody done left?
Right.
So Wicked 3, I'm waiting for that. What about you?
I would agree with what you said. Obviously, the first one was so much more exuberant. This one felt like the meat of the story, like, you know, just kind of making sure that you understood what the substance of it all was, which is good. But, you know, us, we like to be entertained.
That part.
that.
Yeah, it was good. I did think that they did a little ad-libbing, like when the wizard and Elphaba were like somehow on good terms again for that period of time until he, like, you know, backstabbed her again.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I don't know if
don't
I
look in the
remember
closet. Don't look in the closet.
I was like, I don't know if I remember that, but maybe I took a little cat nap. You know?
Yeah, right. It's like, oh, that's what I put the P at that part to play. My bad.
Right. But it was cute. Gave her a little motivation to do her thing. So I just think Cynthia Erivo is just the epitome of grace and excellence and beauty. And this is no knock on Ariana. I think Ariana really cute in her role, and like she did the thing. But man, like Cynthia Erivo is just like excellence personified.
Just a generational talent.
Royalty. Like she literally ate that role up. I mean, I cried like 3 different times. And I think most of it was just like because I could see her in like really giving it her all in what she was doing. And I think that appreciation from like just her artistry was like what really made me just like almost lose it. You know, like she's just amazing. She's so amazing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like I knew going into this one that this was going to probably be not as quote unquote good as the first one, just because the first, even in the play, the first half is like where the most popular songs, no pun intended, are, and all, and the joy is. So going into this one, I was like, okay, I know this is going to be a little more somber. I know, and it's been interesting to see on like social media the people going, oh, I didn't know that's movie. This ain't what you. So, bitch, you ain't been to the play then. Calm your ass down. If you've been to the play, you knew what was coming.
Or read the book, by the way.
Or read the book. Come on.
That part.
So I agree. The first part of the movie, and honestly, the first part of the play is pretty close to perfection of entertainment that you could get. And the second one, I was like, okay, they did a great job. Like I thought it was going to be hard to really turn some of this place up into a movie of the second part, and I think they did a great job at that. I thought John Memchu, is that the director? J.M. Chu, whatever his first name is, did an incredible job for how massive of a production this is. Like, I wouldn't even know how to direct all of this. All these superstars, all these expectations, how big the Wicked name is, all the theater heads, the play heads for the last 20 years. This is like they creme de la creme. So you got to please them, but then also sell it into a new generation of folks that have no clue what Wicked is about. And I think he succeeded. And I hope he gets nominated for an Oscar this go around. He should have got nominated for the first one, because I think even just all around it was slightly better than the second one. But if he doesn't get his just due, burn it all down, because it's very hard to exceed expectations across the board, and I think he did. And then you nailed it. Cynthia's like, if this movie, I don't think would have been as good, both of them, without Cynthia. Like, there's a grounding that she brought to this character. Ariana did way better than I thought she was going to do, but Cynthia was the meat and potatoes. Like,
they were both believable in their roles, and the vulnerability that Cynthia demonstrated through her acting skills every time you saw her on screen, you just like fall into the depths of the oceans of her eyes, because you feel everything that she's feeling. And what's great is you've got Ariana, who, not gonna lie, was not expecting this kind of delivery. And for this role, and some may say this might be a borderline on typecast or whatever, but she ate in that role. She delivered. She gave the kind of counter performance that was needed for Cynthia to deliver what she needed to deliver as the soul of this franchise, which is really cool. And then it was lovely to have quite a few moments of just like fun, like at the very beginning where Cynthia's freeing those rhino oxen, and then she hops
those Starks or something,
and then she hops on the broom and starts surfing it, and I'm just like, wait a minute, what in the aerodynamics is going on over here?
Right.
And then when
and she's like, she did the little braids too, I'm like, yes bitch. And then when her sister gets the house dropped on her, thankfully, and then Ariana, when Glinda and Elphaba had their final showdown and they slapped the shit out of each other, I was like, baby, we needed that moment. Right? We needed that moment. I was sitting next to 3 black women, and one lady was like, I know you about to slap her back, right? I was like, I know. I know. I was like, that's why I fucks with black people. That's why I fucks with us. Because you said exactly what we was all thinking, baby.
Right.
I know.
I just feel like, okay, we got 2 really good, despite kind of the differences of the theme. We got 2 really good movies out of this. I think the big challenge for me is like, like if I ever want to see this again, you're talking about 7 hours of a commitment. Like, goddamn, that's a whole day.
I know.
But
honey, you love you some TV. And
Jana was saying,
if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be you.
my partner was saying that he felt like they should have combined it into one movie.
Yeah.
But I told her, I was like, when did you think we were gonna leave the theater? Like, we literally would have been there all day.
5.5 hours. No. And I don't want them to cut anything out the first one. The first one was literally damn near perfection.
Yeah. That's what I told him. Yeah.
So I wouldn't have want them to cut anything out. I think it's the right call.
We just needed 30 minutes of the last movie.
Right, that's about it. That's about it.
You might be on
tie up a nice bow.
It's like tied up and
director's cut.
I'm so mad. I saw a meme today that said Cynthia and the Scarecrow are like Dubai chocolate. I was like, I am off the internet for the rest of the day. Done, over with. And they put them, and then they put a picture of like Dubai chocolate, and all like the crunchy stuff in the middle. I was like, fuck out of here.
That is hilarious.
I'm so done.
But I'm glad we got it. We are a part of a generation that got it. I will say
yes.
that.
Look, yes.
Yeah.
She lied to her man and told him he was cute too.
It's like just in a different way. I'm putting that in my back pocket for when my husband asked me some shit. It's like, is this good? It was good, just in a different way.
All right, let's do it.
But and then quickly here, shout out to Chino and Zay. Went to go see Brandy and Monica tour. It was everything my 16-year-old heart needed and my 41-year-old heart needed. Like, Brandy was acting like, bitch, y'all forgot I'm motherfucking Brandy. Like, it was so fucking good and so fucking dope. It was everything you wanted. And like, I just feel bad for Monica because you could tell she's still fighting some of that vocal paralysis. So like, she was picking and choosing her battles, and you could tell like she wasn't able to like get down like she really wanted to. But even then, it was just the perfect, like the way they staged it. The amount of money they spent on it was great because I was like, after Beyonce, everything else seemed a little crunchy. It wasn't crunchy. I mean, it's crunchier than Beyonce because Beyonce is the standard, but you could tell like Brandy's choreographer and a lot of the folks is the same as Beyonce used. So it's Chris Grant and our homeboy Frank. Hey Frank, I saw the work you put in, boo. It worked. It was it. And then even like Kelly Rowland was dope. Beyonce was there that night, and like I was like, oh, Beyonce in the building. Kelly's set was dope, except she didn't do Commander and what's the other one with David Guetta? The other pop song she had. Oh,
that one went like number one in the UK.
I can't think of it right now. And I was just like, I know it's an R&B tour, but I'm like, Kelly, I don't know why you keep running from these damn songs. These songs, we the black delegation love them damn songs too. You need to sing them damn songs. And then Money Long was dope, and Jamal was dope. But yeah, Brandy, it exceeded my expectations.
Were you there when Kelly brought Patty?
When Love Takes Over.
Yes.
When Love Takes Over.
Yes, thank you. When Love Takes Over. Yes, that's it. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, and Patty came and she brought Patty out, and Patty was Patty. Patty was like, Wah! I was like, I know that's right, Patty.
She kills me when she holds the mic away and she bring it up.
Everything. And she 81 years old, still looking good. Her wig game is top tier. Like, don't say shit about Patti LaBelle. Yeah. And then Neo was one of the guests, and then I forget the other girl, Lola. Lola, I forget her name, but she was one of the guests as well. So yeah, it lived up to the hype. So,
I have always
started off
been
a little rough.
It did, but they got it together now. They got it together.
I've always been a Brandy super fan. Like she could just sing the phone book to me. I think I love those artists, those female artists specifically who have a lower register though, like Jasmine Sullivan, Lauryn Hill, those kinds of they get me.
Those tones,
they can the tone, and they can really sing. Like they're not just trying to scream something or any of that. Like they are singing. And Toni Braxton is another one. Like
I don't know, Tony's singing and speaking and whispering, and she doing all that. I love me some Tony, but Tony be doing the most.
She did the most, but she got it. It's in her bag.
You're right.
Low-key,
you're right on that.
Low-key, I've literally been listening to "He Wasn't Man Enough for Me" like on like repeat, like nonstop for the past 3 days, and all I've been doing is just mumbling, like not even saying the words. Just,
like, come on, Tony. I know that. It's like she be doing those. Like, what is that?
She said
7 whole days.
She said, Anita Baker, hold my mic,
baby.
I'm gonna give you the mumbles.
I know that's right. Shout out. So I kind of want to go to that concert, the Tony Boyce Men New Edition concert. I kind of do. Yes. We'll see.
Yes.
But all right, before we get out here, we do a segment with every guest that's called Curiosity, and it's to kind of get to know you on a different level, kind of these this or that. So the first one is coming to the stage is Mario Harper. What song is playing?
Ooh, bitch. You know what's funny? Y'all gonna laugh at me, but another bad bitch I love is Shantae Moore. And you remember that?
Baby, what you know about Shantae Moore?
That, hey. And she's an underrated bitch.
Yeah,
underrated.
People be sleeping on Shantae.
Underrated. Yeah, she got a man at home, okay?
Baby. I got a man. Uh-huh.
I don't know why. Like, I just love that song. I would bop out to that real quick. My Gen Z man will make fun of me, but that's okay.
That's all right. That's all right.
He'll get over it.
That. Mountains or beach?
Oh, girl, beach right now, and it ain't cute.
I know that's right.
No, I'm
at the beach. You water. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, while you're at the beach, is it Speedo or is it board short?
Come
or
on,
is it like
Speedo.
A square cut?
Come on, Speedo. I'm not working on this body for nothing.
That too. And community, if you find this Instagram, you gonna be like, oh, y'all, double tap.
Look, it ain't gonna be that forever. So,
hey, I get it. Turkey sandwich or PBJ?
PBJ all day.
Crunchy or creamy?
You know what? I used to be a crunchy girl, but lately I'm creamy. But I might switch back.
Okay. It's like just depending on the mood. Okay.
That sounds like a little innuendo to me.
She's like, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Clock it.
Sometimes you
Clock
feel
it.
like it.
Baby, they don't call us the aunties for nothing.
Period. Period. Let's see here. What's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport is basketball. Yeah.
Okay. Who's your
there ain't
favorite
no
player?
innuendos for that. I just like basketball.
Right.
Y'all stop.
Right. Balls, period. Who's your favorite player?
My favorite player of all time, you know, everybody loves Michael Jordan. I'm no different.
Yeah.
You know, he shaped the generation, whether you like basketball or not.
Wait, so in Louisiana, who did you? So were you like? Because like that's before New Orleans Pelicans were down there.
Yeah.
Like, so who did you root for before that team was down there?
So funny story. Obviously I rooted for Michael Jordan while he was playing, but Scottie Pippen was actually like my next favorite, obviously, and then he went and played for the Portland Trailblazers, and I became a Portland Trailblazers fan because I thought
interesting.
And it was weird after Scottie left, retired, did whatever he did. I just stayed with Portland. So I've been a Portland Trailblazers fan since way back when. And I think it was because
that often at all.
It's crazy. But like the thing that I learned about them is like their fans and their community are like really passionate about that team.
Oh, I bet.
And I had the opportunity to go to a Trailblazers game. And I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm part of the family. You know, like when y'all do things, it ain't been that cute. We ain't won nothing, but I'm gonna stick around.
You know, the Clyde Drexler days. You know,
right?
Let's see here. When do you feel your sexiest?
When do I feel my sexiest? I think after I cut my hair every couple days.
You said, you see me.
People think I can't grow it, but it grows. I cut it off as fast as it pop up.
I know that is right.
You'll be like, damn.
You see me. I know that's right.
There ain't nothing like a fresh cut.
Nothing like a fresh cut.
So,
nothing like a fresh cut.
I agree. Let's see here. Oh, and you know, on this list I had proudest career moment, but you actually mentioned that earlier today, so I love that. Yeah. Let's see here. What do you know for sure now that maybe you didn't know for sure 20 years ago?
That's the best question. I appreciate you asking me that. That as long as you here, it's all gonna work out. And even when it don't seem like it. So, you know, I didn't go into this earlier, but I lost both my parents at a young age, pretty young ages. Okay. My dad at 14, my mom at 23. And when you're in that, like, I had the opportunity to really hit rock bottom, you know, like, just like, what am I going to do here without my mama? You know, like, what? And I realized, like, it's all really going to be okay. Like, in the end, no matter if you still here and you got breath in your body, like, it'll be okay as long as you just keep showing up. So, like, I'm sure about that because I could think of countless times where it shouldn't have been. So,
I love that. Somebody need to hear that today. I love that. All right, like it's like, damn, we almost need to end on that one. So we're gonna end on this one though instead. Beyoncé or Janet?
Oh, girl, don't play. Beyonce. Nobody taking Beyonce.
I get it.
And look, I love Janet, but Janet, come on now.
I get it. There's no wrong answer on that one. And then plus Beyonce done launched this new era, this red era, y'all. Y'all see this body.
Body.
I can't take it.
I will say, I did go and I saw Janet live.
Yeah.
Well, year and a half ago. Mamas is killing the game. She is actually moving. She's singing. You know, oftentimes, like, when you've been around as long as Janet has, like, you're not up there doing nothing. You just, like, you know, you holding a place. Mama puts on a show, and she can still sing.
Yes,
like,
and
she's
can still
60.
move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And look better than 99% of these hoes out here.
Yeah.
Totally. And you know what I enjoyed about it? That she also unites generations, and like there were people there that were just old. You know, I hate to say it, but they were old. And you know, there were young folks there. Like it was all types of people from all different backgrounds, but also like age gaps. Like it was really cool to see like somebody that can really bring together all kinds of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, that's what I call it, because you know I might be a little bit. So, but Mario, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. We know you be here, there, and everywhere. So for you to like take time and honestly take time, and we change the day as well. So we appreciate that.
Yes.
So we appreciate your flexibility to work with us. And but again, like if community has any additional questions or anything like that, give them the contact again that they're able to reach out to you.
Absolutely. You can reach me at nhiv@healthaction.org. Or you can hit me up on Instagram too. I didn't mention that one earlier, but I'm at Mario, MAHREEYO on Instagram. Feel free to hit me up there as well.
And that way y'all can double tap too if you at it.
Show me some love, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Dawon, anything else on your heart and mind?
I just want to say, Mario, I love you, Bill, and I'm so glad that you spent some time with us to, you know, give a little bit of education, but just to motivate our community. And you know, I just love you so much. And so,
love you too, Boo. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it so much. This has been a joy. And happy Thanksgiving,
you're welcome
Boos.
back anytime. Seriously.
Thank you.
Anytime,
Thank
anywhere.
You.
Just let us know. Be like, hey, I got something to say. Okay, then we got a platform for you, Boo. So. But,
I'm not Jasmine Masters, but I got something to say.
I know that's right.
And
shout out to Jasmine.
Yeah,
I know we need to get Jasmine back out here. It's been a minute.
You know what? That's
but community, stay safe out there. Happy holiday time frame. We know maybe for some it's a rougher time of the year and things like that. So hopefully, you know, listening to us spreads a little joy, you know, for an hour and a half or so. And until next week, wash your hands, your legs, and your ass, and we will see you then. Bye.
See y'all.